everybody, and welcome back. I am the Sovereign, and this is my court. I wanted to come here and have just like a small little chat about the infamous, noted, probably most recognizable crown that I possess, the crown of shade. I'm not wearing it. Everybody calm down. We're just talking about it. I don't actually have it on my head. Okay, so if you do not know the story of the crown of shade, when I first conceived of my channel and decided that I was going to talk about, pageant queens and sometimes controversial issues, I never wanted my words to be misrepresented. And my biggest fear, honestly, I don't know why my mom's calling me right now, but give me a second. Sorry about that. I had to stop the video because mom wanted me to go pick up my little brother from school. He only goes to school for 2 hours now, but I had to go pick him up and now I'm back. Anyways, back to the video. This is the infamous, notable crown of shade. Did I already tell you that? Did I already show you that? Probably. This crown has its own reputation on the channel, but this is the only crown I think that has its own specific purpose. And I want to do this video now because it's going to be good to have for a point of reference for future on later in the channel's life. Explaining the crown of shade to the people that are very new, because this crown was introduced very early on into my YouTube life story, my YouTube world. The purpose of the crown of shade, when I first started YouTube and I was thinking about what I was going to talk about and what I was going to do, and I knew I was going to talk about the pageant queens, but at the same time I knew that I would talk about controversial subjects. I knew that there was going to be times where I threw shade. I didn't want to be one of those people who were undercover throwing shade, but my biggest priority, honestly, my biggest fear was that the girls would misconstrue my criticism towards their competitive performances as me not liking them. Honestly, that's what I was afraid of. I didn't want people to get the sense that I didn't like a girl simply because I was critiquing her knees or her gown or her styling or training turns, whatever. I never wanted that to come off as me just disliking them, hating them, because I'm very sensitive towards the feelings of the competitors. They're in a very difficult position, very stressful position. And though I do critique their performances as competitors, I never want them to feel like, oh, people just hate me because my walk is bad or because I didn't turn right. I never wanted that to happen. So I needed a way to separate me being shady, like a shady, petty YouTuber, from me giving constructive criticism in a form that's not like hateful at all. Like I don't want it to be construed as hate. And I didn't know in my mind how I could portray the difference between my words. So I conceived of the idea of a crown that I would wear when I knew that I was purposefully throwing shade or being petty or purposefully being a bit harsh. I wanted a crown that would represent I knew what I was saying and show people that I was, saying something shady or doing it on purpose. Because there's YouTubers that will say petty or shady things like underhandedly, or then they'll go back on their words and be like, oh no, I wasn't being shady, and they'll lie about it or something. And I have no problem standing by my words or what I say or what I think. And I didn't want people to get the sense that I was being shady. Like if I'm being shady, I want you to know that I know I'm being shady. If I'm being petty, I want to be honest and be like, yes, I know I'm being petty. I know what my words are saying. So when I conceived of this idea, I liked the idea that not only could I show people like I knew what I was doing, but it forced me to own my words, wear my shade, and wear it with pride, because there's been points in my YouTube life where I knew I was being petty, but I had no problem with it because it was justified in that moment. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna have at you because you deserve it. I have worn this crown for Charlie Gold, the YouTuber on the platform who used to be on the platform, calling people fridge-sized whales, calling people wildebeest, making fun of people's private areas. Like I wore this crown for her because I was very shady and petty towards her. Like her words were totally out of line. I wore the crown of shade in that video to show that I knew that I was coming at her and I didn't care. Like, I will wear my words with pride. I wore this crown when I was talking about the Chinese government when we found out that they had lied to the rest of the world about the severity of COVID. I wore this crown when it came to people disrespecting numerous pageant queens. I am so against that. I will wear my crown of shade when I know I'm being shady, when I know that I'm about to come at you and it's gonna be a bit harsh. I want them to know that this is not criticism. There's a difference. I want people to know when I wear the crown of shade, I'm being shady. This is not criticism. This is me shading you for either me not liking you, your bad behavior, whatever you did, all of that. Besides making the point of separating the type of criticism or words that I use, separating the difference between criticism and me throwing shade, I also like the idea of owning my words. And like, when I'm being shady, yeah, I'm being shady. I'm like, not every situation calls for kindness. Not every situation does. I have seen a lot of disgusting things happen on the channel. The whole Shane Dawson thing, I wore the crown of shade because what he did was so horrendous and grotesque and so damaging to the YouTube community. Like, that was not me just giving him criticism. That was me openly shading Shane Dawson because I do not like him and I do not like what he represents. Same thing with Joffree Star. I do not like him and I do not like what he represents. There have been Rylan Adams, when he came on the YouTube platform and he was gaslighting the community and saying, well, Shane's always been kind to me. Shane's always been a loving person to me, as if his feelings are the only feelings that matter. I will don the crown of shade and tell you about yourself. Because sometimes there is no diplomacy to be had. Sometimes all you can have is war. So that's basically like my war crown. But it's an important distinction to make, that if you see me wearing the crown of shade, yeah, I'm being shady. I'm being shady, 100%, and I'm owning it. I am owning it. But anything that I say where I am not wearing the crown of shade is likely just criticism. And it's not meant to hurt the person I'm talking about, even if I disagree with them. For example, today I just did a video talking about Lil Nas X. I don't agree with him lambasting a religion. I disagree with that. I think there was a more favorable artistic expression that he could have portrayed gay people in. I think there was a more positive light he could have pursued. But I don't hate Lil Nas X. Though I have criticism towards his latest video, I'm not going to discredit him as an artist or a person. No, I don't think he is evil. We just have a difference in opinion in his artistic expression. But he's still a very talented individual, though I will criticize specific choices. Will I probably listen to the song? I probably will. You know, this is a person who's been through a lot and I understand where he was coming from. So I do try to be very understanding and empathetic. And sometimes maybe a bit too much, you know, like when it came to Tana Mojo, I was very kind when attempting to accept Tana's apology when I shouldn't have, but I wanted to give her the benefit of the doubt because I saw so many people coming down on her. But obviously she has proven me wrong and she has not risen to the level that we all wish that she would. But I wanted to give a bit of an explanation to the purpose and the meaning of the crown of shade, because I haven't discussed the crown of shade since it was first implemented years ago. So I think that there was some explaining to be done. And I know, I'm very aware that some of you get very excited when you see a thumbnail of me wearing the crown of shade. I'm aware, okay? Because some of you just enjoy me being triggered and upset. And sometimes, yes, I enjoy it too. Like when I see somebody being so mean or so bad on the internet and it's justified to drag them, yeah. Sometimes, not all the time, it's not always fun to wear the crown of shade, to be honest. Like sometimes it's very draining and hurtful, but like Charlie Gold, it was so satisfying. It was satisfying because she's so damn mean. But other instances, it wasn't fun, but it was still necessary. So now you understand the purpose of the black crown and understand that there's only certain situations in which I will wear it. And you understand what it means when I don't wear it, you know? When I do wear it, yeah, you're in trouble and I probably don't like you and I'm probably very upset with you. But when I don't wear it and I still criticize people, that doesn't mean, you know, clearly that means I don't hate you. We may have a disagreement, but I would still like have dinner with that person or something. You know, it's not something to where I feel like it's a dragging. So if you feel like I said something and I'm not wearing the crown of shade, understand it wasn't meant as a dragging or like it wasn't meant for any disrespect. That's what this crown is for, okay? I'll tell you when I'm being disrespectful. I will own when I'm being disrespectful, and it's likely very justified. So in the comment section below, let me know what you think about the crown of shade. Is this some of you, this is your favorite crown. Are you admitting this is one of your favorite crowns to see on the channel? If this is not one of your favorite crowns, what is your favorite crown that you have seen me in? I think I have about 7, 9, I don't know. I have many. I will do a video showing my collection of crowns, but let me know which one is your favorite. Let me know if this is the first time you're seeing me talk about the crown of shade, or the first time you're hearing that there is a purpose behind the crown of shade, because probably should have did this video a bit sooner, seeing as the channel has been growing and, you know, there's a lot more people than there were last year. I had 17K people last year, so there's a lot of new people who probably didn't know the crown had a purpose. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up. And if this is your first time here amongst us, welcome. We do videos all the time and I have a lot of new stuff coming, so I would love to see you again. Consider hitting the subscribe button. I love you and I will miss you, but you know I will be back in a future video. Bye.